I want to see a Steve non-challenge season and just watch him dominate everybody in the league
It's happened a
brutally.
couple times. What was
When's
it?
the last time?
BDSP,
It was
right? Or
Daddy
Daddy?
playing part two.
Yeah, Daddy Part Two.
It was me versus Tay in the finals. Or no,
I
no,
got the
part one.
training
Part
wins.
two was the Shedinja team. Daddy playing part one.
I don't remember.
It
That
was
was like 2 years ago now.
I had Drago, grapple locked. I 8-0'd Braff with
Okay.
grapple locked.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, we put Grap Locked on the logo because of that one.
I
That
had
match was sweet.
Topsy Turvy, Draco Meteor, Reggie Drago in the finals. Endure Rocky Helmet Salazzle to KO the Urshifu Rapid Strike. I was on a heater in that set, but then I
Oh my
lost.
God.
All right, we want to fire this
I'm
up.
ready to roll.
All
Let's
right.
hit it.
I'm actually gonna take off before you guys start, but it was
Oh
nice.
well, I did already start
you guys.
recording, but that's fine.
Oh,
We'll take it
well,
easy.
hello everybody and goodbye. Oh, can we just real quick before I go put Samex in F tier or?
I'll put him in D tier.
Oh, come on, you gotta make
Just
it.
No,
Yeah,
put him in S tier
Anyways.
for Samex.
Oh yeah, S for Samex. There you go.
You got your first S tier team.
Here we go.
All
All
right.
right.
Anyways, nice seeing you guys. Take care.
See ya. Alrighty. So, as we
Are we
lose a
recording?
daddy, we gain. Well, we gain nothing. We just lose a daddy. But
Just like
we've
real
got
life.
Tsukaba, we got Purple, we got Colby, we got Steve, we got me, and we got Barefoot Peach Fruit Scotto.
There it is.
Cameron.
Almost done. About to finish the
I
second
have
bottle.
a Gatorade, I guess.
Nice, so responsible.
Alrighty, who are we starting with here? What's
Drinking's
the
not
first
fun,
team?
and I don't say that as a good example. I just say that as a fact.
That's certainly fair. Drinking is not good for your health, kids. Don't drink.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
don't
else is not
actually
good for
drink
your
that
health?
much.
Not drafting fire and water types.
It's not a big or important part of my life, but it is fun to do sometimes. Okay. Fire
I've never
Falls.
seen a type chart like this.
It's a wild one.
That's so weird.
It's
This is
my
even
weak one.
weirder. This is even weirder than Lackey's last season.
No fire resist.
Was there a trade on this team? There was a trade, right?
Yeah,
But it was just-
it was Avila Kasui used to be Stoneger.
Which also used to be Cramorant. But I'm looking at this Tauros third pick and scratching my head. Or fourth pick. What is this doing? Fourth pick on the team.
Don't
Deep
know.
intimidate.
It's a ghost immunity. I
But
mean,
like, couldn't this have?
but like
nah.
Moltres is a ghost resist. Intimidate
slacking.
is not important, particularly with these first three.
Does the team have beat up? Does Murkrow get beat up?
Don't think so.
I think Bramblegast gets
I think
beat up.
so.
It
Bramble
does.
Guest might
But if you're
be.
clicking beat up with Bramblegast, are you like happy?
Beat up an option.
I'm
Here,
trying to
yes, it is.
figure out what makes you happy on this team. Like there is the Wheezing Slacking mode.
Yeah,
which-
Bramblegast gets it.
Wheezing Slacking has double edge on Slacking now, so that's actually a real. Like, if you consider the top 6 mons of this to be Goth, Annihilate, Moltres, Tauros, Murkrow, Slacking, you still have a weird team. But
Yeah.
it looks a little better.
Yeah,
No,
2
drop
normal
Tauros had the
types, 2
I
dark
assume you
type,
meant
2 dark flying.
Wheezing instead of Tauros there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that does make more sense.
But then you have 2 dark flying types. Like that feels like an overlap.
I mean,
And
they
it
don't
is, but
they don't really
They're very
overlap in
different.
role very much. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I had
A
had
lot of them's
another
got Terror.
Tailwind, if I had another Tailwind setter last season and never had to bring Tailwind on Moltres instead of the like 2 times I did, I would have liked that. So like I get that. There are worse things to double up on than bulky Tailwind setters, right?
It's
But
just
you bring
it's
them
made.
to- Sorry, go ahead, Purple.
I just think it's like the only reason it's kind of a problem in my opinion is like I don't think you have a really great fairy resist. Like Wheezing exists and does stuff, and I guess Fortress exists too.
Yeah.
But like I don't love using them as fairy resists when you have two uh when you have two dark flying types, and also you don't have an electric resist, right? Like, or you don't have a great one because Bramblegast is like it's an electric resist, but most of the time it wants to run sash, so the electric type move is taking out the sash, and then you have Plusle, or yeah, Plusle, which is like not good.
Yeah, you're not bringing Plusle.
Yeah, and
Does
you're
it get fake out or follow me?
No.
If it got follow me, it would be better.
nothing.
If you're
No,
bringing
would not
Plusle,
be
you've
one point.
already lost, to be honest.
Okay, it's 1 point. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing we like more around here than over hyper fixating on 1, 2, 3, and 4 point Pokemon. And speaking of that, Fortress, like you do have these two fairy resists, but like neither one of them is threatening in any way to fairy types. Like Wheezing Galar Sludge Bomb isn't like it's like a
Gunk
2-hit
shot. Gunk shot.
gunk shot.
Gunk shot is the
Yeah, I
move.
guess, but off a
And also Gyro Ball.
yeah, maybe.
And Heavy Slam, depending on the mon.
But like
Fortress
at
could-
90, I don't know. I just don't see it. I'm not that worried. Like they
What
might
is-
wall them a little bit, but they're not gonna like.
What is Gothitel's role here? Just to stand next to Annihilate and Moltres and don't let you switch out and hit my guy that wants to get hit and heal
Murkrow
pulse?
has Perish Song as well, but yes. I think that's generally the idea. You can. It's also a good Trick Room setter if you want to curse with Fortress.
Is this just a Perish Trap team? Are we Perish Trapping the hardest we've ever seen?
No,
Definitely
it's,
not
it's like
what
a
I
Perish Trap mode.
But yeah,
Like,
it's a mode.
Murkrow Goth is not something you want to use much. Like, they don't want to be on the field at the same time unless you're clicking Perish Trap. And there's not many teams where I think you look at and you say, oh, I definitely want to like Perish Trap turn 1 here all the time. Because it's like so exploitable if the opponent knows it's coming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you just have a Murkrow and a Gothitelle sitting out doing nothing if they're not Perish Trapping.
I do really like these first 3 picks though. This is like really good, strong stuff. Just generally like good support with the potential for some like decent offense in specific circumstances. Annihilate just shows up, is good, but can also set up, which is, can be enabled by the Gothitelle. Moltres, another just bulky mon that can sit and do whatever it feels like for 2 turns. Hopefully Firefalls remembers better than me that multi-hit moves do not trigger Berserk in the middle of multiple hits if your Citrus Berry brings you back up. But like after these first 3 picks that I really like, I don't love the other 8.
I have a question, or I have a strange criticism. I think one of the weaknesses of this team is that 2 of the free agent trades have been wasted on trading out Cramorant twice. There's
What?
a world. Yeah, Cramorant went to Stonejourner and then went to Avalon. So this team only has 2 free agent trades left. There's a world where this team finds like a different little mode, dropping like Wheezing, Slacking, and then picking up something that synergizes a little bit better. And I think like everyone's going to say like, oh, grab Magmortar, grab one of the fire types that's still on the board. And I think that one trade in a vacuum, trading out Cramorant for Avalog, really wasting 2 FAs, is going to take a lot of flexibility out of this team to actually, really round itself out.
I don't think it's that big a deal because maybe this is just like look at the board that's available. It's really hard to make transactions right now, in my opinion.
It's basically impossible.
Yeah, like I want to and I can't, or I can. I might, whatever. But
I see what you're doing here.
the biggest problem I see is I think this team lacks offensive threats that are sufficiently different, because maybe the big thing is just like when I look at the speed, the Pokemon I'm most scared of are Annihilate, Moltres, and Bramblegast offensively. And Annihilate, Moltres, and
sense.
Brambleghast are all 90 speed. So if I can, it makes EVing against this team really easy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So these are the good abilities on the team here in orange.
A lot of abilities. There's so many good
And
abilities.
these are the ones that you might want to neutralize.
You can neutralize plus.
But that's more irrelevant rather than like
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I agree.
I don't get the Galler, and I just don't think Slaking is that great. Like Slaking is fine, and
Flaking is great because nobody knows how it works. Not even Colby, co-Dameron, coach of the Boca Raton Belly Bolts.
I have no idea how that mon works. I like.
When they tested Truant and that it didn't work in the game the way they tested it.
It's so many tests. I had replays. I'm like, this is how it works, and I was.
I mean, so many of these mons are good in large part or completely because of their abilities. And Jeff,
I feel like you're invalidating Levitate and Misty Surge, which are both very good abilities.
oh
Yeah,
well,
it
that
doesn't
is
feel like you're
Surge.
going to be running neutralizing gas very often on this team.
that is
Misty
true.
Surge
Hard going to that
particularly is
slaking
good
mode.
on Annihilate.
Say again. We were all talking over you. What, Steve?
Misty Surge is particularly good with Annihilate because you run Defiant, you get Misty Surge, you can't be
true.
burned. You just boost the attack. It's a great combo.
Yeah, like the team has good stuff. It's just that as a cohesive unit,
It's
I
not
don't
really
think it's not a cohesive unit outside of maybe like the top 3. I can understand
I really
that
do
they
like
cover
this
each
top
other
three.
well, and
Yeah.
it's good. Like I don't think this is
Strong,
like a
good
great
stuff.
Murkrow team either. Like I don't really
Yeah.
see a lot of mons that really love to abuse Tailwind. Like the Moltres would like it, the Speed Control, the Annihilate, the Brambleghast,
Brambleghast.
obviously. But like a lot of these other mons are just like not an excellent fit next to Murkrow. Like when I draft Murkrow, I want really powerful special and physical attackers that struggle to go first and provide them with that premier speed control that they need to do damage. And I'm not really seeing like a team crafted around that. It's almost like the team's trying to do too much at the same time. It's like we want a Parastrap mode, we want the Slay King and the Wheezing mode, and we want Annihilate, and we want a way to enable that, and then we also want Murkrow and fast stuff. Like it's overarching strategies that are competing with each other with regards to how the points were spent. I think that's the problem with this team.
Yeah, I feel like instead of Murkrow, this should have been Polytoad for the Parish Song, and then something like Poliwrath for the Swift Swim
For
abuser.
cheap Swift Swim.
Yeah, instead of, I don't know, Avalugg Hisui, who is 1 point more expensive than Poliwrath.
So you're saying that this team, if they had two free agent trades, could trade Murkrow Avalugg for
Polytoad and
for-
Poliwrath.
for Polytoad Poliwrath. The issue
That would
here
also
being
get rid of the fire weakness and the ice weakness.
there's only 2 free agent trades left on this team, and 3 of them have been made in the same slot. Then, which is the weird off kilter weakness that I'm worried about.
This would actually get rid of every weakness except Fairy, if that trade were to go through.
It was Polytoad.
So you're saying that the Polytoad Poliwrath, the Poliwag line is goated.
Absolutely goaded. Oh, but
I mean,
then
I
it
don't-
adds electric and flying. Obviously, I don't care that much about the type chart. I'm net weak to every type that exists. But like, honestly, I would also rather have Stonejourner than Avalugg, because at least Stonejourner gives you the boost on Moltres and Annihilate moves.
And Whitebeard.
I think we can move on.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do like these first 3 picks, though. I think it's like this is a really great start to a draft, and then I think this might have been a casualty of 32, and so like once there was just not that much obvious stuff to go like pick, and then it was kind of just a this is a good mon, this is a good mon, this is a good mon type stuff. Maybe might have happened a little too much. I don't know. It's okay, but I think it's like around Cramorant's Greninja's area down here. Who's next?
Prove us wrong.
Yep.
Show us up.
Furat. All right. Speaking of Prankster Tailwind next to a strong Pokemon, Prankster Tailwind plus Golem Explosion.
Okay. I loved these first 4 picks. After these first 4 picks, I was like, this team is on fire. You got Tailwind with Golden Go. You've got Rage Powder with Nasty Plot on either Golden Go or Rotom. And let's be real, the special attackers are harder to cover for than the physical attackers typically. Whimsicott has the Prankster Encore. It can also set Trick Room. But then, I don't know, somewhere it just got lost in the back end. Where I love Ray's team for the top 4, he rounded it out. Like the ice weakness, he covered immediately with Embor, that kind of thing. And then he adds the fast mode with Electrode. I just don't know what the rest of these mons really add to the team, particularly the back-to-back Dragon pick, the Ditto.
The Flygon was an accident.
Oh yes, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, right. It was, I'll take Flygon. Wait, no, I want somebody else. Wait, no, Flygon's fine.
It was, oh, I thought this was a different draft that I was in. Fine. The draft has moved on.
That's
I'll
what
take
it was.
it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the Flygon just traded. It's 5 points. It's not the end of the world.
No.
I love
Gives
the
you just quick-
Haxorus. I love the Haxorus. Here's all of my special attacker threats, and then here's one of my biggest physical attack stats in the game.
Yep, that's true.
Next to Whimsicott.
Haxorus fits. Haxorus and Snorlax both fit Snorlax Rage Powder as well. I guess what I'm saying is I don't like the last 5, which is not really a great criticism when he can probably just bring the top 6 every week.
I think it's a real criticism in part because, like, I don't know, if I'm Snorlax, I want to be in Trick Room, I think, and your Trick Room setter is Whimsicott. Like, you don't have a better Trick Room setter, and I think that could have been really big in the last 5.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, like, yeah, I kind of agree that I agree that I don't like the last 5, but outside of the problem of not having a great Trick Room setter, like, it is kind of a meh criticism.
Yeah, like
I think there's plenty of value. I'm big on Patchy.
Yeah, Pachirisu was great.
Yeah, I think it's good.
In general.
Is
But,
it great on this team where there's
No.
no electric weaknesses?
No, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Also, you've got a net ground weakness.
And you already have redirection, Premier, and the Volcarona, so it's not even fulfilling that niche for you as like a redirector because you want to be using
True.
Volcarona because it's a better Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely do have stuff that you want to be redirecting away from, right? Like a Nasty Plot, or a Belly Drum Gluttony, or a Swords Dance, or a Lucario gets lots of boosting moves, Dragon Dance Flight. Like, there are stuff that you want to be doing, but you already got Flygon. Or Volcarona, you spent 15 points on it. Pachirisu could be something that's not ground weak, and you might actually want to bring.
I've got an idea of how to improve this team.
I mean,
I think that this team needs another really good grass type and a really good fake out user. I think that you're right that Patchy isn't quite necessary. I think that Flygon isn't quite necessary. This team can take Patchy and Flygon and get a 1-pointer, and on the board is Ludicolo for 11 points.
That's not true. I have Ludicolo.
No, Ludicolo.
Oh
on the
no!
board.
Wait, Steve, you have Ludicolo?
Yes.
Oh man. So you're saying that trading Patchy and Flygon for Ludicolo can't happen because you have it? That's a
good point. I will trade Ludicolo for Pachirisu.
Wait a second. We got some collusion going on here.
And then I will drop whatever else you need and pick up, I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But if you guys have a point that Patchy and Flygon are a little bit out of place on this team, I think that if you dropped those 2 Pokemon, you could you have 12 points to go find something better in the 11-point zone. Is there a water weakness? There's Gastrodon, there's Blastoise, there's
New Trick Room setter.
Superior. Yeah, Trick Room setter. Let's go find a Trick Room setter somewhere.
Not a
Gothita's
draft.
4 points, gives you Fake Out and Trick Room. And Shadow Tag Frisk.
For the record, I was saying a meme, but I do think that dropping Patchy. You guys have a point. I like Rotom plus Patchy, discharge mode, but that's about it.
I mean, I think Gothita is like a really good suggestion. I think a Fake Out and Trick Rooms. I would want a Trick Room setter with this team. Like that's not Whimsicott.
Stantler also works. Chimecho is available. Has a Levitate. So yeah, that pairs with Haxorus, Earthquake, sure.
Stantler plus another 6-pointer? That's kind of cool.
I do like this top 6 though, right? You have
Yeah,
two
the top
good,
6 is amazing.
two good Terra Ground Earthquake Mons. Snorlax still gets Earthquake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, two good Terra Ground Earthquake Mons. 4 immediately or with a little bit of setup, scary special attackers. Premium support in Whimsicott. Goldango, I mean, you just have to deal with it or you'll lose. Volcarona, very flexible. I think this top 6, if you saw it on ladder, you'd be like, what's the Haxorus and Snorlax doing there? But you wouldn't be like, this is a free win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No,
like these are good Pokemon.
Any
Red
team
moves
with
all over.
any team with Whimsicott, Goldengo, it's not a free win.
Exactly. Yeah. There's good Pokemon here for sure. But
All right, let's
it
throw it
wouldn't
on.
be an Olds review if we didn't focus on cheap Pokemon.
I'm playing Time Cop. We got to move on.
All right. Sounds
Oh, we
great.
gotta
Let's
go to
put it
bed.
on the list.
I'm an upper B.
I'm kind of middle B-ish. Still don't have a team I want to put into S tier. It's somewhere in this world here, and I'm just gonna put it into the middle, so I don't have to go back and look at 5 other ones. All right.
Where the tiering gets messy.
Yeah, this is always where the tiering gets messy. Alrighty, so Cincinnati Minchinos. What do we think of this one?
Dr. JDB.
Yeah, I'm not a real doctor, but I do play one on Discord and YouTube. So this is a mix of Pokemon I've used before and really liked, and Pokemon I've always wanted to use because I really like. Those ones being like Arbok, Empoleon, Electros, I think are cool. I've never got to use them before. I think they're interesting. Mons I've used before. Well, and Ursaluna, obviously. I haven't used before, but Mons I've used
I'm
before.
so glad you picked up this
Uxie.
Ursaluna Uxie mode. The
Yeah.
Uxie, I never even thought of it to pair with the Ursaluna, but those were Mons I've considered first picking in other drafts in that order.
Sora, in the season when Sora had Ursaluna Uxie.
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's Pokemon I have used before. Uxie, this is the 3rd time I've drafted Uxie. I like Uxie a lot. 2nd time for Delphox. 2nd or 3rd for Trevenant. Como-O 2nd. Mouse, these are Pokemon I like. I don't know that I
how would prep
totally
against this.
made it coherent towards the end. Some of these last couple ones are a little strange-ish. Like, Dodrio is 110 base speed and has Tailwind. That's but that's basically all it does. Arbok is 1 point Intimidate and Sucker Punch. Delphox is a fire type that was available in the last 2 rounds. But I do think I'm doing some cool stuff, and kind of by accident and then on purpose became an Ursaluna team. I've got multiple Levitators. I've got multiple good Trick Room setters.
I think your team is
Intimidate deterrent.
fantastic.
I
I
do
think
like
this is
it.
a really good team.
I was kind of surprised at how it kind of came together.
You have a top, really well-rounded 4. Then you picked up Primeape, and I got confused. And then here comes the Trick Room mode.
So the
Primeape's good.
Primate,
Primeape gets Rage Fist still. It's legit.
It's good. I just didn't understand it on the
It gets
team.
the Rage Fist. It's cheap. It was a suggestion of Dan's. He's like, you didn't get the Annihilate, but Primeape is on the board and is much cheaper and does a lot of the same stuff.
Just Terra Ghost, it's basically the same thing.
And it gets Eviolite.
Yeah.
Even
It's a
bulkier.
mon that I have eyed in the past as a cheap fighting type with Defiant that could maybe do something 1 week, and now in Gen 9 it's just a reasonable I mean, it's a logo Pokemon. This Primeape won a VBL championship.
I have no idea how to prep against this. There are so many modes on this team. The follow me setup mons with Como, with Primeape clicking on bulk up if it feels like it. There's the beat up mode. There's the trick room mode. There's there's Defiant and competitive on this team. I don't know what's happening, and there's Boom Burst next to Trevenant. There's all sorts of things on this team that I don't know how to prep against.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is I think what makes this team so threatening is the value, because when you look at this team, it doesn't seem like a top-heavy Ursaluna team. You have that Ursaluna mode, but you also have Mousehold, Como-O, Electros, and Polion. You have good Pokemon, and then you just have an Ursaluna Uxie at the end, which is kind of crazy. And the reason what set you up to do that was amazing value picks. Electros for 9, Primeape for 8, Trevenant for 5. This is a team with 10 usable Pokemon, 10.5 maybe, Arbok, I don't know. But, I mean, I really do like this team. This is one of my favorites so far. I would say I don't even think it matters that your best Tailwind setter is Dodrio, because I think this team does just fine without Tailwind a lot of the time. You have the Mousehold redirection, you have setup threats, you have a great Trick Room, one of the best Trick Room modes probably that we've seen with the Ursaluna, the Eel. The Trevenant can operate and set up under there. The Empoleon can take advantage of Trick Room. Great Trick Room sweepers, great bulk, great setup, great redirection. I love it.
I think I'm lower on this team than all of you.
I mean, I'm
significantly.
lower on it than Tsukaba at least. So there is
love it.
that.
I like it a lot.
So my big problems that I see are with Mousehold. I would generally want a strong ghost type or something that's weak to ghost to pair it with personally, or something that or something where it's redirecting a move that's scary. And instead, what I see is for Ursaluna and Empoleon, two of the Pokemon I would think about setting up with. Not setting up, but Ursaluna doesn't really need setup, but getting a turn of guts, getting the flame orb off. They're both weak to fighting. And Como just seems like it would get wrecked by a Dazzling Gleam, or you need to Terra anyways, even through a Follow Me. So
yeah, I don't
love that.
I was fighting with that fighting weakness the whole time. I had just different versions of this spreadsheet. Just how can I mitigate this fighting weakness? And then I took Ursaluna.
And the Uxie's good for that, but it's not a Pokemon that most of the time you want to be setting up with next to a Mousehold or something. So I don't know. I don't think this team is bad, but I'm not nearly as high as you guys seem to be.
And I agree. And I pulled up Icy Wind and Bulldoze. I don't maybe Electros gets Electro Web, but either way, that just enforces the point that if something is faster than Mousehold or Dodrio, you're not bringing Dodrio for Tailwind most weeks.
I also don't think so.
You're going to be getting outsped fast. Ursaluna is 50 speed. You're going to be getting outsped slow. It's going to be hard to build with this team if you're not going offensive Mousehold.
Yep, these are definitely problems I noticed, and that I was hoping maybe we would brush over, and Tsukaba would just say lots of nice things, and we'd move on.
Yeah, I'll keep saying nice things. I'll be your hype man for the season.
You hype people. I'm hyping this.
I mean,
I like it a lot. I don't think the weaknesses are as big of a deal.
I think
like
the
has
team.
A lot of
I think
strong options.
I think I pivoted to mid-tier values around before everybody else, basically. So I got more of those, right? I mean, I got the last round Delphox, I got the Uxie, Electros, Primeape, Trevenant, the Empoleon I think falls into that category as well.
Yeah, you took Empoleon half a step before anyone was thinking about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna take it round 4. I was mad.
I
you go.
was I feel like my style of drafting where I'm like, get something that is good in lots of situations, stay as open as possible, see what other people aren't quite ready to take, and take it before they can. This sort of find the open seat type drafting style that I have sort of espoused and always kind of operated under, I think benefited from 32, where kind of everybody had to do that a little bit more, but I've been doing it for 3 years, whereas not everybody has been. So I think my draft went really well overall, but I definitely agree that my speed is a little rough. I wouldn't mind having something either much slower or something else super, super bulky, like a Como O and my UXR and stuff like that, that can just not care what the speeds are.
I still put this in A. I still think this is an
I'm
easy
putting my
A.
team in A also. I do like my team. I think this is one of the better teams I've drafted. But
I think you're going to have a lot of success.
Sam's, wherever that's going.
It's what?
I said I'm putting that above Sam's, wherever that's going.
Yeah,
Oh, Daddy already said it's the F tier at the bottom, so everything.
yeah, I think
We're going with Daddy, right, on that one?
I like mine
Forward.
better than Daddy's. What was Goose's team?
Rain team.
I really like Goose's Rain team, actually. I think that's like right where I'm at with mine.
I'll go one below the Rain team because I like the Rain team.
Yeah, I am also one below the Rain team in A.
Who's
tier.
next?
Who's next?
Oh, Lackey.
Nope. Lackey. Here we go. Alrighty. Cloth and Co. Flinching with Rockside since 1854, apparently. We got sand mode.
I love that Lackey doesn't give a shit about the type chart.
Just
This type chart last time was so confusing, and this time it's equally confusing.
it's a little less confusing, but like fire and water kind of crazy. Like a lot of the types that are problems are types that are often problems for people, right? Ice, ground.
I mean, it's
fairy,
crazy
stuff
to
like that.
see. It's crazy to see just one ice weakness and nothing else in the entire.
But
column.
yeah,
That's
the whole
true.
the
No resist, no
yeah,
other weaknesses.
no
That's
ice
wild.
resists is pretty crazy.
But okay, he's got great sand mode, obviously. Tyranitar, Escadrille, Houndstone. He's also got Indeedee Duosion. Duosion at 125 special attack is the third or fourth highest special attack expanding force in the format.
I mean, it's the same as Reuniclus.
Yeah.
It just basically has to run an Eviolite instead of getting like a life orb or something like that.
Weirdeer gets it too, expanding force. 105 is no
Weird
joke.
Gets it too. Yeah. Hilarious value of Duosion. Toxicroak, Dry Skin, pairs amazingly well with Tyranitar, Excadrill. You have the Tailwind out of Fletchinder, priority, if you don't want to run the sand. If you do, bring safety goggles. And then, Fletchinder goes down. You get the paid switch into whatever you want to actually sweep. You get Last Respects immediately up to 100 base power. Sure, why not? Spore, Brute Bonnet. After you, Scarf and Deedee. Thunderwave, Snarl, Raikou. I love this team, except for Slitherwing. Slitherwing's shit.
But it contributes to the Sun mode. Weather Ball, Raikou, Brute Bonnet, Fletchinder, Slitherwing. Sun mode.
Who's setting the sun?
Fletchinder.
I mean,
Slitherwing's
on this
not bad.
team,
It's just not.
Fletchinder.
This is not a team that makes it good, in my
But
opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still
Fletchinder's
think it
only
can be good.
84. I think Raikou is probably setting the sun if you're running a sun mode.
I don't think you're running Sun here.
But I don't know that
You
you
just
are.
bring it with booster.
You're running
Can it
Booster on Brute or
Yeah.
Slitherwing.
Can Slitherwing even get booster speed? I don't think it can.
I don't know. Colby
It's
was doing some
suppression, right?
wild booster Iron Thorns calcs to get Iron Thorns to boost speed.
You gotta be timid, yo.
Yeah, you gotta be timid and 24 IVs in attack.
It's the same with Slitherwing. You have to be timid to get booster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not worth. But point point of order. I think that this team has a bunch of cool parts that fit together, and I don't like this team. I don't know.
Really? Okay.
I don't know what this. I don't get it. I'm too confused looking at it. I don't see any mode that is strong enough to be all that threatening. I think Tyranitar Excadrill is, but it's a little outdated. I think that Indeedee Duosion, like if that's the selling point of this team, we got problems. I think that Brute Bonnet and Slitherwing have speed issues. I think the team has speed issues. Does this Indeedee get Trick Room? It does, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, both.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, they both do.
I think it's
good.
how the modes. I think it's how the modes interact with each other that I kind of like, because Tyranitar Excadrill. What are you scared of? Mostly, to me, fighting, and then you have the size spam mode, right? Like that's scary for opposing fighting types. So it's not that either mode is like great. It's that both of the modes dissuade like what wants to hurt the other mode.
And those don't overlap. That's a really good point.
And the sand mode, like Tyranitar, is immensely threatening under Tailwind. Particularly because you don't have to worry about these latter things like Tornadus or Fluttermane. 61 is certainly fast enough. If you're facing something that doesn't have Prankster Tailwind, just run Covert Cloak, Fletchinder, get that Tailwind up, and now you have base 134 attack. You have base 135 attack in the back. You don't even need to run Sand Rush. You can run Sand Force, and you are just destroying everything.
Yeah. I actually like this team quite a bit. I think the Brute Bonnet is nice here. Not only for Rage Powder support, but like it's a good Trick Room deterrent. Like a lot of teams we've looked at don't have good Trick Room modes. I think that becomes hard to operate on if you don't have any good Trick Room deterrent in addition to a Trick Room mode. And Brute Bonnet's a great Trick Room deterrent because it's usable outside of Trick Room as well. And I think Brute Bonnet kind of shines in that supportive role where you're boosting up a defense stat, and then you're also clicking big number damage. So it's not passive. Spore is always a threat. And I think this team also gets use out of Indeedee Psychic Surge without any direct. I know we're saying like, yeah, Duosion, Wordier, like you're not scared of the E-Force, but I think the blocking of priority is also nice because, the Tyranitar, the Excadrill, it's an immensely powerful threatening mode, and not having to worry about Fake Out with that Sand mode would be really nice. You don't have to worry about Mac Punch, which could be a major threat into these fighting weak mons, as you said before. So I kind of like the synergy here, and I think it's cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
cool team.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are both Brute Bonnet believers for sure.
I love it. It's so good.
I was
so good.
Mid on it and wanted to experiment, and then had it and loved it, and
it carried me the whole season last season. It was genuinely like my most important mon. It's so strong.
I am a Weird Ear believer. I haven't used it myself yet, but I was eyeing it for this season. Maybe to trigger my own Defiant and Competitive, since it gets Intimidate and Skill Swap. But that ended up not coming together. But it's got a lot of cool stuff, and also Slitherwing.
Listen, for 8 points, it's not
actually,
even bad.
It's first impression, right?
It gets first impression.
Fine.
It's gonna melt something with close combat.
Yeah, it gets first impression close combat.
Flying is also not like a super common
doesn't
unless you're Steve's team.
Which I'm not.
Not a lot of teams
Different
are
division.
bringing. Yeah, that's true. Not a lot of teams are bringing like random flying coverage for a Slitherwing when you have all these other problems. So I mean, Slitherwing is gonna come every now and then, and it's gonna catch somebody off guard with a really fat first impression close combat, acrobatics, booster acrobatics, etc. It's got a lot going for it.
Not only that, it has Whirlwind, so it can deter these Trick Rooms that people are probably going to want to set because the slowest thing is Duosion.
Don't sleep on the Brute Bonnet and Trick Room. I'm telling you, it can single-handedly deter it. Like, you get it. Yeah, okay, you said Trick Room. I switch in Brute Bonnet. Now 2 of your mons are asleep, and I'm stalling your Trick Room. Like, it's legit Trick Room deterrent.
Yeah, but if you have like a good Trick Room mode on your team, Brute Bonnet's still only 55 speed, so it doesn't underspeed like the huge Trick Room threats. I feel like for
Iron Ball, it might.
Iron Ball for sure, but then you're using Iron Ball
as
Yeah.
Trick Room deterrent.
I don't think you need it.
Spore.
Just if you're boosting a defense, it's so bulky. You literally just boost the special defense and Terra Fire, or something, and then all of a sudden you're not dying to any one-hit move, and you're getting your spore off anyway.
But like, you see this on ladder teams all the time. People who don't have a Trick Room answer just slap an Amoonguss on there, and all the Amoonguss does is click Spore. This is exactly what this team can do, but with a power item or an Iron Ball and Brute Bonnet.
But safety goggles has extra value to not take sand chip.
Sure.
I guess,
Well-
but I don't
Losing
necessarily even know that I would run safety goggles against this team. Like
No, it seems like a wasted item.
it's just a waste so much, and I mean Tyranitar is knocking things off anyway. You're basically just bringing it for Brute Bonnet Spore, and so like, just double target it, and it's going second in Trick Room and it's going second out of Trick Room. Like, I like Brute Bonnet, but it's not Amoonguss in terms of being an answer to Trick Rooms.
If Excadrill is wearing safety goggles, does it not get Sand Rush?
It does.
There goes my trick safety goggle strategy.
However, Utility Umbrella is an
Ooh.
item
Ooh.
that if you trick it on an Excadrill, it does not get Sand Rush.
Alright, I would have put this team in B. I think I've been convinced I like it a lot more after talking about it. After hearing Sukaba hype up the bonnet.
This is in my top quarter.
It's legit. This is good. This is a good team.
Yeah, I think it's right around me and Daddy. Keith, this area. This is definitely where they start to get sketchy, when you got to put it in where there's 30 other teams, 28 other teams. Alrighty. The Damascus Drift Blims. Some knucklehead drafted this team.
Hey, what are you trading though? I'm just kidding.
This team's so good.
Yeah, this team.
You guys see
got
how
something
insane
going
this
on.
team is, right?
Hey, we got purple here. Purple. Go.
I want to let other people talk about it first, because I've got too many thoughts on it to be the first one to speak. But I'll talk about what I think about it later, for sure.
So
This team has Belly Bolt on it.
okay, and also it has good Pokemon. So I like the
mono good Pokemon.
Yeah, this is 11 good Pokemon. This is the draft version of a good stuff's like balance team on ladder, right? It's just Pokemon that you like having perform a clear role. The team overall covers its bases pretty well. I like the Talonflame plus immediately offensive presence in Metagross. What do you got in the way of special attack? Basically nothing. So it's
Belly Bolt and
Belly Bolt.
Appleton.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And Ting.
no major threat.
sure
Yeah,
not
Why
the main
run?
one.
yeah immediately that you want to tailwind so that it goes first and does 80% to 2 mons or something like that or whatever. But also,
I think-
Talonflame just is good anyway.
Like Will-O-Wisp goes nuts here. You're gonna want a Terrafire or Lumberry, Tinglu or Metagross most games, because you're probably gonna bring them most games. Yeah, that's the main issue, is that there's no special attacker, but there's also like nothing available to be a special attacker anymore. So there's not really any way to.
Yeah,
improve
I mean,
this team.
Electromorphosis, Belly Bolt, like it's not nothing, right? It's decent. It's slow enough.
Apple Acid is a special attacker.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
Slowbro has a special attack stat that is usable.
So all the special attackers are the Trick Room threats, the really slow mons.
Yeah.
The
There you
Belly
go.
Bolt, the Slowbro, the Appleton.
And there's Tinglu. So focusing on a physical attacking team makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Does. And while everybody's focusing on the physical, you're just throwing out ruinations and fissures, and eventually you'll just win anyway.
Yeah, I like this Tinglu with the Earthworm too. Little
Yes.
earthquake, heal it up, get a iron defense body press going on next to it, maybe. I like it. So I like those two pieces together.
A levitate would be nice here. I don't have too much negative to say. I think like the negatives are pretty obvious. It's the low special attack, the low special defense.
Yeah, the low special
But those
defense as well is rough.
Those are both covered by Tinglu. However,
To a
you
degree.
can only have Tinglu on the field. Like you have to have something with Tinglu.
Yeah, and
And if
Tinglu's
Tinglu
only
goes
there
down-
until Tinglu dies, right?
Is this team improved if you slap Regice onto it?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Regice is only usable in a snow team.
I
In
disagree.
which case it is the greatest Pokemon on existence.
I don't agree at all. I think Regice is great elsewhere. Be cool here too, because you get. Does Tinglu get Bulldoze? I'd assume.
I have Bulldoze Pokemon.
Or you could
For sure.
Bulldoze with Clear Body. You get a weakness policy. All of a sudden, you're really, really strong.
Yeah,
But I mean,
but you already have that with the best Bulldoze Clear Body mon.
oh yeah, that's
Like-
facts. That
Belly
is true.
Bolt.
That is true. I didn't. That's a good point. Yeah, that's like a scary mode that we haven't really addressed here. Is just the Tinglu with the Metagross synergize really well with each other.
The
because
first thing I mentioned was that Metagross is scary.
yeah, but not, you didn't say
Immediately
with,
offensive.
I'm talking with the Tinglu. All right, I'm elevating a little bit.
Metagross
I mean,
is scary next to any Pokemon.
It's true. I
Especially
use
Tinglu.
Metagross. It's so
Wassel.
good.
But
But-
Metagross covers a lot of Tinglu's weaknesses. Psychic to cover fighting types. It has Bullet Punch and
Feel
obviously
very,
Heavy
yeah.
Slam and stuff to deal with fairies. Like that was the thought process for this team. Is I like initially when I was like, if I get Tinglu, I want to pair it with Metagross because I think Metagross deals
basically
with a lot of
everything
stuff well.
except for water types.
And then
Yeah.
Slowbro is a defensive answer to water types, and
Yeah.
I have 2 grass types later.
And Belly
Um,
Bolt.
And Valley Bolt.
Has Thunder Punch, probably.
I think so.
In a second
Um,
run.
I think Granbull gets all. I mean, Granbull gets all the fangs as well. So there's that.
But yeah, I wanted a relatively slow Gi team, and then to pair it with Talonflame, so it could have a Tailwind option that's relatively unexpected and won't come most weeks. But like when it will, my opponent has to be prepared that this team can go fast, and like fast is like specifically when it's in Tailwind and when I've EV'd Pokemon to outspeed things while it's in Tailwind, and then but primarily it's got a slow Trick Room mode that is difficult to stop because Slowbro can't be taunted. And it's difficult to kill next to a Tinglu, and then if I need to, I can run Covert Cloak. So it's very hard to stop me from getting up Trick Room consistently.
And
Yeah.
like your offensive mons that you want to be running fast. These top 3 here, Metagross, Passimian, Samurott, they all hit too decently hard. And Passimian does dissuade that Intimidate. Also, Metagross dissuades Intimidate. I don't think you would, in general, bring Intimidate here. Scrappy also dissuades Intimidate. What are you intimidating here? Tinglu? He's just going to click Fisher anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Tinglu, Samurott. Yeah.
Yeah.
Samurot's setting up spikes.
You can't intimidate Earthworm because it's just going to body press you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a physical team that is kind of like really deferent to Intimidate, which is nice. I would say like with the speed tiers, like I that's a good point about like, yeah, you could go fast one week, but if they do like Imprison Trick Room is a threat. I don't know if there's Roar here or Whirlwind or something like that to get rid of it, because that's the one way that I could see that you could stop it, which could present problems because these mons are generally leaning slow, and if you are bringing that Tailwind mode one week, it's very easy for other teams to match the Tailwind and then still outspeed your mons, because a lot of them are in that lower like 70s, 60s, 80s tier, so that could be a concern. But oh, Tinglu gets Whirlwind. Look at that.
Yes,
There you go.
the known Whirlwind user, Tinglu.
There you
mean,
go.
James?
Doesn't
I used
get
it
roar,
against
but it
you.
gets whirlwind.
Well, that's true, but I mean,
How does it make a whirlwind?
in a vacuum,
his
if I was
big
gonna
mouth.
guess, if I was
In
gonna
the- in
guess
the
the
bucket?
Pokemon,
Wouldn't Roar
In the
make more
vessel?
sense if they wanted to give it one of those?
Roar would make more sense for sure. Although, if it's in
not
the
funny,
bowl,
I mean, if
Yeah, it
I'm
makes a Whirlwind
guessing
in the
which
bowl.
Pokemon on this team gets Whirlwind, I'm guessing Talonflame.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Gale Wings. Oh, can you imagine if? No, because it would only be +1 priority.
That's still
Yeah, so it's
That would be
-4 priority instead of -5
Yeah.
priority.
Can you guess which mons get upper hand?
I don't even know what upper hand is, Colby, so definitely not.
It's a,
upper, it's same priority as Fake Out, and if you use it into an opponent's priority attacking move, it
Oh, it's
flinches
that
them and does
thing.
60. Yeah.
Yeah.
but only attacking moves. It does not work on prankster moves.
Yeah.
Despite what it says in game.
seems very niche.
Anyway, this is my S tier team.
I don't know if
I
it's an
don't
S tier
think it's
team,
S tier.
Really?
but it's,
I don't even think it's S tier.
But
It's very
I
good.
like
It's
it
in the top.
very
It's
much.
it's in A tier for me for sure.
Just take a quick reminder of Jace's team. Oh, right. Yeah, I think I like Jace's team more. But this is a impressive, well drafted team with lots of good stuff going on and no dead weight. I mean, when your lowest mons are 5-pointers on this board, you have no dead weight.
Yeah. Deep team, and he's still got a 511 base total. Good mons.
Alrighty.
Speaking
Ryan
of 511
O'Giggs.
base total, let's look at 479 base total.
Yeah. Frail.
Oh,
Well,
this
that
is
was
not
kinda-
counting. This isn't counting
Yeah.
good Palafin. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we do Palafin Hero? Does this work now, or is it still broken? Oh, no, it works now. Nice. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey,
They're
that's a
around
little
500.
better average.
Around average, yeah.
Almost touch 500. Speaking of Iron Thorns, it got drafted. I was actually looking at it as well for a little while.
9 points is worth it.
If you squint,
9 points is worth.
this is a ladder. This is a Palafin ladder team.
Yeah, this is like a worse version of the team that Slushy won with.
Yeah.
By worse, I mean significantly worse. All right, Arcanine, Palafin, Fungus. All right, was Amoongus drafted by this point? I
Yeah.
genuinely
Yes.
It
I
was
think it was.
taken second. Group Bonnet was available though.
don't. Yeah, that would have. He would
That
have
would have been a lot
really-
better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate the Fungus. Like, if this is your basic idea, right? You want Arcanine, Palafin, Amoongus, and Amoongus goes before you get to take it. I don't mind Fungus being the choice you make instead of Brute Bonnet.
Fungus has always done well.
Yeah, it's always been fine, and at 5 points, it's gonna carry its 5 points worth of weight for sure.
I don't think it's a staple of your Firewater Grass core though.
But
No.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like that's what he drafted it to be at.
yeah.
at the
I mean,
third.
Amoongus it is not, but I get it, and I think it's defensible, and I think if this was my basic goal, I probably would have made the same decision in the same position.
And I think he's definitely thinking like a tournament / ladder player, because he is, and he's also done, like Slushy, very well at tournaments. He only has Fungus and Reuniclus here to counter Trick Room. So I imagine most of the time he's going to have Eviolite Fungus in his team to answer this Trick Room, because Reuniclus, while powerful, without Psychic Terrain, it's like not doing that much damage. So I don't really think he's going to be setting Trick Room that often with Reuniclus, just to use it with Reuniclus.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of your one mode, your one Pokemon Trick Room mode, right? Where you can do like Life Orb, Magic Guard with Trick Room and Psychic and Dazzling Gleam Shadow Ball or something like that. And then, that is one scary, like a scary one Pokemon mode that you're going to bring 4 times, something like that. But yeah, for the most part, you're probably not really going to want to play in Trick Room with your Sneasel, Palafin, Dugtrio, Dragapult, Elekid team. Yeah.
Braviary. Yeah.
Yeah, Braviary also is 80 and mostly wants to be said. Whoa, what did I just do?
Ew.
I don't know.
So this team has a beat up mode. Sneasel
does.
gets beat up into Cobalion and Arcanine.
And Arcanine, yep.
Hooray! I wanted to do that in my draft with Weevil.
I got crushed
I
in the
thought-
first Little Cup tournament we did with a beat up. It was Growlithe was the justified, and I don't remember what the beat up user was, but I got crushed by Braff. But yeah, I mean, beat up's fine. I got it on my team.
Is Dragapult good here on this team? Does it support this team particularly well?
Well, let's see. Defense is low. Will-O-Wisp is good. Special defense is low. Light screen is good.
Stats are low, moves are good. Got it.
I guess. Its attack is high. Nothing to support that high attack.
What booster mons are in our division that they need to worry about speed wise? None.
I feel like they're all in that one division.
Yeah. Brute Bonnet can't
Bonnet.
boost your speed.
Neither can Slither.
Slitherwing, I guess technically could, probably, but
Prankster Tailwind.
Is there really none? None in the whole division?
Sandy Shocks.
Sandy Shocks, that's one.
Sandy Shocks, and there's
Great
also
Tusk.
And
Visual.
Murkrow.
Bolt.
Murkrow's there too with
Yeah.
Tailwind.
Great Tusk.
Well, but I was
And
just thinking, like, natural speed, right? Like, stuff that Dragapult's base 142 is just going to outspeed by virtue of it being such a high number.
It's good here.
And
It's fast here.
yeah, outside of Tailwinds, Raging Bolt, and Sandy Shocks, Dragapult's the fastest thing around, so...
You get people like Poppin who say, you know, Dragapult Thunderwave is really good here, so I'm gonna bring a Lumberry. And then I'm like, who the fuck brings Lumberry against my Dragapult? What are you doing? You are a god. Because I brought exactly Thunderwave. The Dragapult's a mon that you love to have because it does everything. But when somebody counters the exact thing that you want to do with Dragapult, it's very annoying.
I'm not
So-
too high on this team. There's a big lack of special attackers, and
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I feel like there's also like
This is just...
he left 3 points on the board, by the way.
Oh yeah,
It's
what
a
the
lot.
fuck?
Oh, yeah, really?
Like you could literally upgrade this Elekid to like a
Jesus.
5-pointer, or like upgrade the Dugtrio to a 7-pointer, or
Yeah,
you
you've
know what I mean?
already
Like
got
there's so many
Redirection and
chances here.
Fungus.
Yeah,
for you to get something better maybe that could like actually be usable. I mean, 3 points is a lot of points.
that is a
Can you
lot of
upgrade-
points.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody leave that many. I've seen people leave like 1 or 2, which is like, all right, I get it, you know. But
I think we've seen 3 in the past, but on this board with 32 coaches, I think it's it's unreasonable.
Can you upgrade 2 mons to the Indeedee?
Ooh. Probably.
What about that other team we told to drop for the Indeedee?
Well, the waiver wire has passed.
is this really a team that wants Indeedee though?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, Reuniclus is
No,
a mon
Reuniclus.
that wants
Yeah.
Indeedee, but I don't know that the team other than that really cares
And
about it.
Emrys. There's not a lot of mons left at the top of the board, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is obviously, like, this team likes... I think this team likes priority enough that you don't want a DD.
Thunderous Therian.
That's true. We
Fascinating.
do have Arcanine.
Trio up to
Palafin.
Rampardos. Actually, Rampardos plus Dragapult sounds pretty fire.
Then that lets you get rid of Iron Thorns for a better electric type, maybe. Then you get rid of
Better
Elekid.
electric type.
Turn Iron Thorns, Elekid, Doug Trio into Rampardos, Electabuzz, and something else.
There's options. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know. I mean,
there's options.
he can make the decision, but I feel like you got to use those 3 points here. I mean, the Ella kid you're not bringing, so you may as well make it a 5-pointer, if nothing else. But also consider upgrading the Doug trio maybe.
Can
There's
the
something
fungus
else
get
as well.
upgraded, please?
I think, like it or not, Fungus
like
is part of this team now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
I
you
mean,
can
honestly,
swap that
I
out.
do like it. Like, I think the fungus
Yeah.
is fine. Yeah.
I just don't like where he picked it.
Yeah, with
Is-
with a
is my
32 coach draft, I do think it's a pretty huge opportunity cost to use your third pick on Fungus. Even if you really want that Firewater Grass core, like I would be way more inclined to just say, well, I guess like screw the Amoongus idea and let me pick up a different grass type that's more valuable that I'll bring to every match and will feel happy about.
Yeah, I agree with that. You got to look ahead and like plan out like, okay, which of these people will reasonably take this mon? No one's taken Braviary round 3 either. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
you could have skipped either of these mons. I'm the flying guy. I wasn't gonna take Braviary.
Yeah, I mean, I was considering Braviary Hisui, but not until, like, here.
Yeah, like round 9. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I started considering Hisui and Braviary.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like too much value, but it's also bookended by 2 amazing top tier Pokemon, right? And plus the Dragapult. Like the Arcanine and the Palafin work really well together, and they're so powerful that they can turn a lot of matchups for this team. And he does have usable supporting cast Pokemon. I mean, the values that he got wasn't bad here. I just think his priority for picks could have been utilized better to get something a little more cohesive. But I don't hate it. Like I think it's not a bad team by any means.
I don't even love the value, but that's mostly just because like I don't like Reuniclus without Psychic Terrain that much, and I think that kind of tanks a lot of the excess value that you could argue he got, right? Like Reuniclus to me at this point is really like Steve, I think you said, just a trick room, like a way to dissuade trick room, and like you're not getting 11 points of value out of dissuading trick room with Reuniclus.
That's a good point. That's his 4th most expensive mon, is the Reuniclus. And it feels like he doesn't want to bring it. That's like kind of bad.
I think he just knew that Samax liked it so much, and he was just like, "Fuck this guy."
Team Chaos.
I think to wrap this up, Elekid needs to be traded for Cutie Fly for a perfect type chart.
There you go. Wait, how does that help the rock weakness?
It doesn't. No, not weaknesses, but just having all the types.
Oh, 1. Look at that.
You're so close.
That is always nice to see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But really, drop Doug Trio and Elekid and pick up something good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Doug
agree.
Trio. Classically
Maybe something good that's also
underperforming.
slow, so you have a threatening trick room mode.
Yeah, I think it's C-ish, kind of middle, somewhere
It's
around
like a
here.
low B for me.
Oh, you're a little. I guess I do like those. I do actually like those top 3 low. Yeah, maybe it's.
When I say low, it's like the last team in B for
Yeah.
me. That's where I have
All right, is Samax's team the team I put in S tier?
No,
No, this is my.
Also, I
weak
think
one
you guys
matchup. I've
are,
looked at this one a little bit.
I think you guys are overrating Palafin a little bit.
Yeah, probably could be.
It's hard to use.
All right. Speaking of mons that I like, but that I don't know if make a super coherent team, this is exclusively mons. Well, no, there's also Skarmory, but other than Skarmory, this is exclusively mons that I like. But I don't know. I'm not super impressed by it. I think this team is fine. It's got, some good stuff in Florges and Melodic, very bulky stuff. Arcanine Hisui is scary. Rillaboom plus Hitmonlee, and also just Rillaboom plus the move Grassy Glide is nice. Haunter is fine value. Scraggy is fine value. Inteleon is good at 8. And is a nice secondary water, but you want your secondary water to maybe have another type. A lot of single type mons on this team: a grass, a water, a fairy, fighting, another
Yeah,
water.
somehow only
fire.
weak to electric type.
Yeah, this is the most normal type chart I've seen from a team with so many monotype Pokemon, I think. Yeah, I think the team is... I think Samax drafted a fine team. But I don't really get it as a team that is gonna, like, really take him where he wants to go this season.
What is this team missing to make it?
Well,
Say
I don't
wow.
know. Also, there's that. Like, I don't know what it's really missing because, like, it basically has all the stuff it wants, right? I mean, you got good fake out, and
I
also
think it's missing. It's missing like
some
good speed
Intimidate.
control options, right? Like
Yeah.
you have the Sandy Shocks, Electro Web. I feel like is your main mode maybe, but like your only Tailwind setter is Skarmory, and your only Trick Room setter is Haunter. Like
Oh,
those.
did he make a trade?
No,
No.
no, I convinced him not to because his trade was dog shit.
But I don't know if this team cares about speed control as much as like the average team, though. You have
Yeah, I
good
don't.
priority in Rillaboom Arcanine.
Yeah, and just,
Milotic
like,
is like
Unkillable
Milotic's
bulk
gonna sit
lords as
there.
well. Yeah.
Yep. Floor just cares a bit because it doesn't want to get hit by physical moves. Sandy Shocks can run booster speed, so then it is fast.
Yeah.
And Inteleon can use fast icy winds. So like I don't know if I buy that this team like is super missing speed control just because I don't think it needs it as much as most teams do.
It really is just missing it's missing that slow mode though too. It's like it's more than just the fact that Haunter is your only Trick Room. It's like you don't have a slow mode at all. And like I don't think the fact that the Mons are bulky and that they don't care about going last because they have priority, I don't think that's enough for me to really say like, okay, well, this is not a team that doesn't need like I feel like this team does need speed control. You want these Mons to be going first. The Arcanine, like what's the priority that you're referring to?
Stream speed?
Extreme speed? Like
It gets it,
that's
right?
not
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
it. I don't know if that's how you want to be using Arcanine. Like you want to find a way to get your Arcanine going first for the fast rock head, or, head smash and just like destroy something, or maybe like the super. I don't know. That's. I feel like I feel like the lack of speed control is a big deal.
I disagree on the Arcanine point, but I agree in general on the speed control point. To me, this top four is amazing. Rillaboom, Arcanine, Milotic, Florges. They cover each other very well. Florges with either Flower Veil or Symbiosis to boost the Rillaboom. You can also Terra Grass with Flash Fire on that Arcanine to go with the Flower Veil. That's perfectly reasonable. Hitmonlee also pairs well with the Grass, with the Unburden. But after that, it falls apart for me. I think those five are my favorite Mons on this team. Sandy Shocks obviously has the Gravity Hypnosis with Milotic. It's kind of slow though because you don't get that boost that you get with the Espathra that you typically see. But defensively and offensively, I don't see what the Sandy Shocks is covering here. Skarmory, you're not going to bring every week just to set Tailwind. If anything, you're going to bring it as an end game mon, kind of like you would with a Corviknight. Haunter and Scraggy, you're not going to bring. Inteleon, you're going to bring for Swamp, for Icy Wind, for I don't know, Dragon Cheer Milotic, I guess.
Special flying coverage. It gets Air Slash.
I don't know what's Magby here for. But at the same time, like Sam asked me how he could improve this team, and I looked at the board and I was like, I don't know, can you get Indeedee anywhere?
Espathra?
No.
Espathra would. There's a lot of points on this team tied up in Rillaboom and Arcanine, which look a little overpriced when picking them both on the same team. Right? Like I think Rillaboom at 22 is fine. I think Arcanine's a little bit high at 20. Looking at other options at 20, like I can build a team around Annihilate or Iron Valiant or Golden Go. And I think that cracking the Arcanine piggy bank, possibly. I don't know where you would go with it. Like maybe
You want
even
to drop
cracking-
Arcanine on this team?
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I like
don't want
it.
to drop Arcanine.
I like
I also like the top top 3 and top 4.
I'm looking
If
at. I'm
anything,
looking
I'm
at
dropping
where to.
Sandy Shocks on this team.
Really? No, I like the Sandy Shocks here. I don't. All I'm saying is that I see 22, 20, 16, and you get Rillaboom, Arcanine, Sandy Shocks, and I just don't feel. I don't know, I feel underwhelmed.
I just feel like if these mons aren't going first, I don't think they're beating. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just can't get over the speed control thing. Like, I don't think the priority is enough. Like the Grassy Glide, the grass is not like an amazing offensive type. Like, I don't think just clicking like Choice Band Grassy Glide is like winning you the game most of the time. Like, I feel like going first against this team is gonna destroy it. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
that's just like my hot take.
what about yeah? I mean, you have booster speed Sandy Shocks that can set screens like that. Again, it's not speed control, but it mitigates stuff to a bit.
Yeah,
I
that would
don't
help.
I don't hate the Sandy Shocks, but I agree it's probably not ideal because I do feel like in this team most of the time what I would want to do with it is set screens, and I don't want Sandy Shocks to set screens. Like that's not what I want them on to do most of the time. But it seems like that's what this team wants them on to do most of the time to me.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a weird team because like it's good, but I don't care about most of it.
I think it's got
Yeah, if-
5 good mods. The top 4, Hitmonlee,
Weird.
and
Yeah.
I genuinely would drop Sandy Shocks before anything else on this team.
Wow.
But it's like
What
to
a
pick up
hater.
what?
Yeah, I don't know because like
The
I
board
tried
is
to
so-
make like
Yeah.
If you could pick up any mon, I'm talking any mon, regardless of already having been picked over the Sandy Shocks.
something really strong that has Grassy Glide.
Ogerpon.
The
So you want
Sidua,
Ogerpon. You want an Ogerpon.
What's the best Grassy Glide mon here?
Ogerpon.
Iron Leaves? Does Iron Leaves get Grassy Glide?
no.
Oh, what a piece of
It's
shit.
actually like almost nothing gets it. Actually,
Wild.
I'll tell you what, Comfy gets it for some reason.
That makes
I think
sense.
Shift Tree
Lilligant?
gets it.
Does Torterra get it?
Nope. Actually, yeah, it does.
I think it does. Yeah.
There.
It does.
And Torterra pairs with Magby. There we go. Shell Smash Grassy Glides.
Now we're
in.
cooking.
Yeah, I think Sam drafted a good team that I don't care about. Like I don't. It's fine.
And you're playing in week 1, right?
This is my week 1 matchup. Yeah. But I mean, having said all that, like, what am I going to bring into this team? Like, this is like the. I don't
You
know.
bring your
It's-
plan, and then Sam X brings his plan, and then you smash them together, and you see. Who
Yeah,
comes out on top.
this does seem like a bring your own plan type of team. Yeah.
This seems like whose good stuff is going to win.
Yeah.
Will your plan KO the Florges or the Arcanine? And if you don't, you get head smashed.
Yeah. I feel like in general he's got a lot of useless mons here.
It's so mean.
Like
Hey,
the whole second
I-
half, you don't care about.
Exactly. Other than Inteleon. Well, and Hitmonlee. Inteleon you're barely going to care about. Hitmonlee you're got to be worried about because of Unburden.
Unburden. Yeah.
But, yeah. Haunter, Skarmory, Scraggy, Magby. Don't care.
Yeah, I've got this one towards the
Um,
lower end of B.
Symbiosis Grassy Seed. That's on this team. And Symbiosis
Yeah, this
booster.
is.
Yeah, the top 4 or 5 are great.
I have it near the top of B. I really like the top 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think it's very low B. It might be my bottom B tier team. All right,
Who's next?
last team, Tay. Is this my S tier team?
Pretty good. These are a lot of good mons.
Pretty good. Classic
It's
Tay
my S
fashion
tier
of
team.
taking a 20-plus point mon in the last round.
Wild.
I mean, I was considering waiting till the end to take Ursaluna, but I wrote out this whole thing of like every coach that could conceivably still have enough points to spend on Ursaluna, and the two mons that I thought, or the two coaches that I thought maybe it would be was, I think, Tay and maybe Ryan or something like that. I don't remember who it was, but my notes for Tay was, if this is round in the last round, Tay will take it.
Yep. This is exactly how Tay drafted
Yeah.
last draft, too. I think Tay picked Thunderous Theory in last time at like 17 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And this time got Great Tusk.
A good-looking team.
Tay very clearly just wants those top 3 to 4 mons and then fill it out with utility. And then grab that whatever
Yeah, take
whatever
the best
is
thing left.
left.
At the end. Yeah. And I think it's a pretty good... Like, it's not that far from what I did this season, right? Like, move in on value just a little bit before everybody else, and then take something awesome late. And I think this has got some pretty fun stuff. Persian Vaporeon, I like. Rabombi, I think, is good. It's great natural speed, shield dust to make it immune to fake out, etc. So you can get your Tailwind if you want it. You got, a secondary Tailwind setter in Ghost or Oricorio if you ever need it. Very, very cheap Follow Me, Sentret.
With Frisk.
With Frisk, absolutely. A real ability and a real move. And, you could do worse than normal type on your Follow Me Friskmon. That's fine. These
That's
top
really
picks
nice.
as well. I mean,
Is Cerulege cool again?
I mean, everybody is shit on it for 4 seasons.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's Poltergeist now, though,
That's true.
isn't it?
That's when you don't run an item.
And it
Mind games.
has always been cool as hell.
Yeah,
I think
So
it's
pretty dope.
literally happened once.
I ran no item versus... I ran no item Tangrowth in Season 1 versus AC Week 1 against...
First week of the league.
I ran no item Palafin against Electric's Gastrodon to be able to hit it with acrobatics. And it
Oh,
worked.
that's pretty cool. Nice.
What was the
double up on
Poltergeist
that.
mon that I was worried about?
I told Daddy to run
Gorgeist.
itemless Dusk Noir.
It was
So that he could
Gorgeist.
get hit by Poltergeist. Because Jace had Golurk. And it worked perfectly.
Love that.
So,
I mean-
okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Kobe.
Team overall. Focusing on Poltergeist Cerulege. I think this team is really cool. I'm a little afraid of Tay in general. Just I'm afraid of anyone who's confident enough to pick their big scary mon last. And I don't understand how to value Raging Bolt, but apparently it's good, and it's got big numbers and big sucker punch in electric type. I don't think this team runs Trick Room aggressively, but I think that just putting 2 mons out and clicking attacking moves will do this team a lot of good. Great Tusk, Raging Bolt, Arboliva, Cerulege come out, click an attacking move, and they all cover a lot of types. I think that this team is going to put a lot of pressure on, and I'm kind of scared of it.
I want to hear from Purple because you had this as your top team.
Yeah, I love this team, I think. So I just think Raging Bolt covers a lot of Pokemon that want to, or specifically water types that want to deal with Great Tusk and Cerulege. And Cerulege helps deal with the ice types that want to take out Raging Bolt and Great Tusk. I just think that's really valuable. I like that Great Tusks can sit next to... Great Tusk next to Bronzong for Levitate, I like. I actually disagree with Colby a little bit that the Trick Room mode isn't offensive a lot. I really like Arboliva as an offensive Trick Room option.
Bronzong's a great offensive option as well.
Yeah, so I just think that this team works in the fast mode with Rabombi speeding up Great Tusk really well. I think, and I think the team works in the slow mode and also it just has some great support pieces in Persian, Bombi, like I said, Bronzong. I don't know. I just think I really believe in this team.
It's also my top team. I agree with all your points. I think this is just like a well-covered team. Like everything makes sense to me here. Like we have a fast mode, we have a slow mode, we have I don't care about speed mode. Like we have everything that you would want. I mean, there's a little bit of like booster uh competition, I would say, with between the Tusk and the Bolt, but maybe not because a lot of times you could just run Assault Vest on Tusk, and Bolt might not even care about boosting a stat if you just put a boosting item on it in general. So I don't think that's too much of an issue, although you could nitpick that a little bit.
Yeah, Tusk
yeah.
Tusk also doesn't mind like a sash sometimes. Like it's
Yeah.
paper thin on the
Or-
special side.
Raging Bolt runs
So-
Life Orb, Assault Vest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not.
so
It's really
it's
a
not too
non-issue,
bad.
honestly. Yeah, and I do think Kobe's onto something there though. I don't think this team like aggressively. I don't think he was saying that it's not an offensive trick room mode. I think he was just saying that like most of the time this team is not like my main game plan is trick room. Like
For
trick room
sure.
feels like a nice like mix in here where it's like it's always going to be solid as an option to bring with your 6 every week, and depending on how the game goes, you're setting it sometimes you're running the fast Rabombi stuff. You get fast Sunny Day. This is like a really sneaky Sun team. You got 2 photosynthesis abusers. The Saraledge likes
Ooh.
getting Bitterblade boosted up by the sun.
Show me
Like,
Harvest. Show me
Harvest.
Harvest Arboliva.
Yeah, like there's like there's some sneaky Sun mode here, and you have one of the fastest non-prankster Sunny Day setters. So I just think it's a really well constructed team, and I think it's going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, you also think about your Imprison users. They're going to be Psychic, they're going to be Ghost. Very rarely are they going to be Fairy, but Saraledge covers those. Psychic, Ghost. And then you have Bronzong covering the Fairy. Also, Tay got Oricorio where I had not even considered Oricorio because I didn't have Quiver Dance, but he's got Quiver Dance on his team. So you also have to worry about that Quiver Dance mode.
And he's got Cloth. Hey.
No, Cloth is literally never going to come to a game.
No, but look at
Cloth.
him. He's fun. Look at him.
He is
He's a
fun.
cute mascot. He's a cheerleader on this team.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, yeah.
he's
And-
not going to.
Is Vaporeon at a place here? When does one bring Vaporeon to a matchup? There's so many offensive and support set pieces on this team. Vaporeon feels out of place.
When you want to run Choice Band Saraledge and you don't want to Terra it, and you switch into your Water Resist Vaporeon.
Covers
And,
Tusk
like,
too.
Vaporeon gets Calm Mind now, which is nice. I
Muddy
Vaporeon
Water.
think
definitely-
it gets
yeah.
Scald again. Is Scald back on the menu for Vaporeon?
If Vaporeon has Scald, I'm in.
There's 4 water weaknesses. I guess we have Fire or Oricorio here, but
Yeah, I mean, I actually
Sure.
don't. I don't know. I don't love the Vaporeon
It's
just
called.
because I think Raging Bolt does a good job of dissuading water types, and then you also have Arboliva as a pretty good option as well. I don't think it's needed. I don't think it's horrible, but like if Vaporeon got dropped for something else, assuming the board allows it, which I don't think it does. I think Vaporeon's probably the best thing available at that point value for this team.
I think there's so much pressure on this team that I don't see Vaporeon doing it, but it does get Scald, so I'm in.
it still has 110 special attack. Like, that's not negligible.
Yeah, I think Vaporeon's
Wait,
good.
what? Wait, okay. I thought it was my bad.
yeah.
I thought it was 95.
Oh yeah,
Okay, this
Vaporeon.
one's nuts.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's Calm Mind
I also-
with Scald or Muddy Water plus a good
Alright,
Terra
might be.
type and
No, might be. This is good.
Ice
It's
Beam
got
or
Muddy
something
Water
like
and
that.
Scald.
Do we
I
have a
know.
good physical electric type in this division? I'm gonna say no.
Probably
physical
not.
electric type.
Do those
Supersonic Slam.
exist?
No
Looks
way.
like no.
Iron
However,
Thorns.
The end of list is Iron Hands.
Iron
However-
Thorns.
Oh,
We have
Iron Thorns is
Lilith.
kind of a good one.
Electros.
we've
I
we
have-
found the team that
That's
Sam
about
will
it.
beat, and it is Tay. Once again, Sam beats Tay. Sam, the consistent destroyer of Tay. All praise be to the commissioner.
Honestly, Iron Thorns decimates this team. Want me to break it down for you?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously kills Vaporeon. kills Arboliva with Pin Missile, kills Ceruledge with Rock Edge, with Rock Blast, beats up Raging Bolt and Great Tusk by being cooler than them, by being from the future. These guys are from the past. Come on, boomers, get over here. I don't know. That's all I got. Beats for Bombi with
Boy, you really ran out of steam there. I thought I was going to have to count all the moves you listed and be like, you listed 9 moves, but you just ran out. You got 3 out and then said it's cooler than Raging Bolt.
I'm like, how does it beat Raging Bolt? I don't know. Future.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this up.
Yep.
How's everybody feeling about their week 1 matchup? James?
Fine. I mean, it's the team I'm
Easiest
facing.
win in the world for Sam because... Sorry, easiest win in the world for James because Sam's team sucks. Purple, how are you feeling?
I'm against Firefalls. I feel pretty good, I think. It's not a free matchup. It's not a great matchup, but it's pretty good. I feel pretty good.
Sukava, who are you playing?
I'm playing Jace. I got Sun week 1. But
Sounds
I had
awful.
a dream. I actually had a dream where we played the match and he didn't bring Torkoal or Walking Wake. And I thought it was real, and then I woke up and realized that we never played. So maybe I was manifesting something, and
Did you
I won't
win in
see
the
either
dream?
of those.
So you're going to win by pure Jace stupidity. I
Yes.
love it. Call
Yep.
me.
I'm playing Toxic, who has Baxcalibur, Clefable, Spectrier, and I'm eyeing up that Illumise, Clefable, figuring out how I'm going to get over it. I'm doing Shadow Ball calcs against Grimnay, what's his name, Spectrier. I'll be fine. I'll figure it out or something. I'm scared. I don't know what my team does yet. I don't know what you guys said about my team, but I don't know what it does yet.
You
How
should
about you,
drop
Steve?
whatever your shitty mon was for Grookey. Sandslash. Drop Sandslash for Grookey.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm playing Camo, and we're both bringing Swagger Mirror Herb, and it's gonna be fun.
All right.
Excellent. All right. I put Tay third in A tier there to finish out. I never found a team I was really excited to put in S tier, so my S tier, much like the empty chair for Elijah, remains unfilled.
I think you can put those. I think if you just adjust your focus, you can take those top 4, just bump them up. Because they are all 4 of those are excellent teams.
I agree, and normally I prefer a stronger normal distribution, so something like this, and then
you just got demoted, Purple. I'm sorry.
down here, and then this would come here, and then this would come here. Something like this is kind of what I would prefer.
That's.
But I mean, I kind of buy the no S tier team because I think the 32 coach draft lowered the power level a little bit almost because it was harder to get consistent, the consistent top option.
Yeah.
I agree with that in general. However, there are specific teams that will not have an answer for Poppin's team, the Dozo team, or Goose's team, the Rain team,
or the Flying
or Jace's team, the Sun team. No, everyone's going to have an answer to a mono flying team. Somehow I got placed in the worst possible division, though, where literally a single team has a weakness to flying. We'll make do.
Slushy, end of list.
Yes, I think someone. Yeah, Camo's neutral, Braff's neutral. Yeah.
Alrighty, we did it. 32 teams. If we can drag this out for another minute and 10 seconds, we'll hit an hour 30.
No, call it.
All right, we're done. Peace.